All right. So, why don't we dig into the question that I want to engage with today, okay? So the question is, how can I teach my kids Hmong if I don't speak Hmong well, okay? And I did a survey, I think it was last month, and there were so many people, okay, such a large percentage of people who said that the biggest challenge that they had with teaching their kids the Hmong language was that they didn't feel confident speaking Hmong themselves, okay? Do any of you guys struggle with that? Like, is this you? If it is you, like, no shame, please, like, write in the comment section, like, hey, that's me, okay? Because like, you're not alone. There's so many people who feel the exact same way, okay? And I just want to say that if that's you, like, I hope you keep watching because this video is for you. If you are an expert at speaking Hmong, if you can speak it really well, if you're very confident in teaching your kids and your kids speak it really well, then this video is not for you, okay? You can, you're way in advance, and so yeah, you probably don't need this video. But if you are somebody who can speak Hmong, but you don't feel confident teaching your kids, or if you only speak a little bit of Hmong, or even if you don't speak Hmong at all, but you want your kids to be able to speak Hmong, then I hope that you'll keep watching because I have a couple tips for you which I think could really help, okay? All right. So, again, the question is, how can I teach my kids Hmong if I don't speak it well myself? And this is a question that I've been asked a lot, and it's also a question that I know very personally, okay? So just, it's something that I've struggled with myself. And you guys probably think that's weird because, Maiku, you started Hmong Baby and you're coming out with these educational products to teach the Hmong language, but I do, like, this has been a struggle of mine, and, like, I will be the first to say that I'm not the best at speaking Hmong, like, guji tsitsa halu Hmong hina, guji lahata gu tsitsa, okay? I've never claimed that. I'm not an expert, and probably you guys, like, many of you guys probably speak it better than me, okay? I'm just a mom who wants her kids to learn how to speak Hmong. I just want my kids to be able to speak Hmong. Gusa ko kuya minyo tsa hal Hmong suke gusa ko po tsa ta nu kuna ha gutsi ha ko po. Just, I want them to be confident in who they are as Hmong American children. So when I was young, I remember sitting down with all my siblings. Okay, there's 8 of us, and Gutzi, Tov, and Saonu, he'll sit us down, and then he'll have like papers on the wall, and he'll teach us how to write and how to read in Hmong. And I did learn. I learned the very basics of everything, like na tan da ma pan ba, all of those, right? You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, but maybe you do. But I learned the basics, but I didn't know it really well. I mainly spoke English with all of my siblings. At school I spoke English. The only times I spoke Hmong was with my mom and with the elders. Ku chi halu Hmong dolena, ku halu Hmong chicha hingdu ku na gutsi ha jai laosana. And that's not a ton, right? And then my brother married my sister-in-law who came from Thailand, and she spoke Thai and Hmong, and I would translate like everything we were watching on TV. I would try to translate it in Hmong, and it was so hard, but it helped a little bit, right? And then I got married, and after college, my husband and I moved down to North Carolina, and we lived in Durham. And so for those of you guys who don't know, Durham, there's I don't know if there are any Hmong people there. Maybe like 1 or 2, maybe 3, but I didn't meet any Hmong people, or we didn't meet any Hmong people while we were there. And we, I know that there are Hmong people in Western North Carolina, like Hickory and Charlotte, but not in Durham where we were living. And so we spoke English. I mean, our primary language is English when we speak to each other, but also all of our friends their primary language was English, or they spoke English. And so I remember one night just chilling with some of our Korean American friends. We're having dinner at our house, and we're having such an awesome time, right? We're like laughing and just connecting, and one of my friends said something, and then my husband was laughing. He's like, "Oh, y'all," and then we just kind of like looked at each other and we just bursted out laughing because, you know, we just got so comfortable with them and they're Korean American. It was just, yeah, it was so funny. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but it was so funny. And after that, we realized, you know, we were talking and we realized that, man, we really miss being with Hmong people. We miss being with our families and being able to speak Hmong. And so we missed it a ton, and it wasn't until we moved back to Minnesota where we started speaking more Hmong with our family, and then also with, you know, just there's a lot more Hmong people here. So and I just remember like coming back, it was like such a struggle to start talking in Hmong again. You know, like when your brain is saying something, but your mouth just can't make it come out the way you want, especially like smoothly. It was like, yeah. But we kept working at it, and you know, I feel like we're so much better. We are by no means like amazing or great, but we're so much better than where we are. So I just want to encourage you guys and let you guys know that if you don't feel confident, that's okay. But if with work and with consistency, you can get so much better. Okay, so yummy chitsa halumong tashinona chi oletyan yummy moru shaka sana. You guys can get so much better. Okay, so I hope that my little embarrassing stories are helpful, or at least will, you know, encourage you guys a little bit. So I know that for some folks, like, a great way to teach your kids is to put them into immersion school, right? Or to have your parents babysit them, to have their grandparents watch them so that the parents can speak, or your parents can speak Hmong to them. But I don't think that's always available to everybody, right? Like, I think in Minnesota there are Hmong immersion schools and Hmong classes and stuff, but that's not everywhere in every community. And so what can you do if you don't have grandparents who live near, or what if you don't have Hmong immersion schools nearby? What can you do to help your kids learn Hmong, especially if you don't feel confident speaking it yourself, okay? And my simple answer to that is learn right along with them, okay? I know that some people feel like they need to be experts, okay? I just know this is kind of a tendency, you know? You feel like you need to be an expert in order to teach your kids the Hmong language. And I would say that it is important to know the basics of the Hmong language so that you can teach them correctly. But I want to let you know that you do not have to be an expert, okay? You just need to know a little bit more than your kids. Or you know, if you don't know at all, like, you just need to be willing to learn. And that's a great start. So if you don't know the basics yourself, like, I would not take the approach of being a teacher, okay? That's not the best approach. Rather, I would say be a fellow student with them, and they would appreciate it so much, okay? And I know that some of you guys are saying, oh, Maiku, but I'm too old and it's too hard and it takes so much time. But I think that with these 3 small things that I'm going to teach you guys, it's going to be so easy that that excuse is not going to be even worth it, okay? So you guys can totally do this, okay? So okay? I just want to encourage you guys to do that. So let's go ahead and dig in, okay? So the 3 simple ways that you can learn Hmong right along with your kids. Okay, the first one is to have a Hmong learning time. And this can be every day, or if every day is too much, just do it like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But just kind of cut out a specific time and have that be the Hmong learning time, where you sit and you just watch YouTube videos with your kids, okay? And I never thought that I would say, hey, sit down in front of a screen, okay? Like, I'm not the person who, like, puts my kids in front of screens often, but I think that you can really use it as a tool because there are great resources on there, okay? And I'm not saying just plop your kids in front of the screen. I'm saying do this with your kids. So the great thing about this is it's free, right? And it's really simple. So couple things, okay, on YouTube. I would say watch Hmong Kids channel. And for those of you guys who don't know what that is, it's a kids channel, or it's a channel, a YouTube channel that teaches kids the Hmong language. And I'm not associated with them in any way. I know that people get confused, like Hmong Baby, Hmong Kids channel, but they're totally different. But I think that what they're doing is great. And I want to just also encourage them to keep doing it, you know? So I would say watch their videos. They've got really simple videos on there that teach really basic Hmong words. Videos, and the teaching, there's a lot of, the teaching is in English, but the words that they teach are in Hmong. And then they also have songs on there, okay? They've taken English songs and translated them into Hmong, so it's really easy to follow along. And you can also watch our videos, Hmong Baby videos, on hmongbaby.com/videos. I go through all of my flashcards, really like in a simple way where it's, where you guys can repeat with me. And so right now I have animals, objects, food, and numbers. And I'm also coming out with, again, a video going through my book where I will actually read this book. And I will have another video where I'm teaching parents how each word sounds, okay? So it's going to be a lot slower, and I'm going to be very detailed in how I'm teaching you guys so that you can memorize it, because it's very easy and it's really repetitive, so that you guys can actually just teach your kids or just read it with your kids, okay? So I hope that that is helpful for you guys. And I'm actually hoping to get other Hmong books as well, Hmong children's book, and reading those on my channel as well. So stay tuned, okay? So just so you guys kind of see, right, like the Hmong learning time, it can just be something as simple as, at 6 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, you sit down with your children and you watch Hmong Kids channel, or you watch Hmong Baby videos, and then during dinner, what you guys do is you talk about what you learned, okay? So if you guys learn about fruits and stuff, then you can actually engage with your kids. You can say, "Mi tu min cai nu no be ge zhen shi to ge ge lu mong. Oh ge ge zu ji gan zi lo." And then you give them an orange. You can show them what they learned, and you can ask them, "Oh, what other fruits did you learn, right? Oh, no ye zi zhe." You can engage with them, okay? Again, I'm not saying just put your kids in front of the screen. I'm saying sit there with them, learn with them, sing the songs with them, repeat the words right along with them, and then engage with them. Okay? So I think that's a really simple way to learn. All right, the second thing to learn Hmong along with your kids is to learn a new phrase a week. Okay, and this is something that I think is really simple, but it's a great tactic. Okay, I would say take a phrase like "nya zhong shen zu," okay, which means good morning. Okay, it's "nya zhong shen zu." Take a phrase, and also that's in green, green Hmong. In Hmong, it's "nya zhong shen za," right? But you take a phrase like that, and I would write it on paper and stick it on the wall, or if you have a whiteboard, put it on there, or stick it on the refrigerator so you remember, oh, this is our phrase, okay? And you and your children, or you and your child can say this every time, right? Like in the morning, if it's good morning. And I would say for you to learn, say it to all of your non-Hmong peers, right? And I would say even say it to your coworkers, your supervisor, to your Uber driver, to everybody, because I think that this will really help ingrain it in your brain, and people are going to ask you oh, what does that mean? And maybe it feels weird at first, but you can tell them it means good morning in Hmong, and I think you're going to strike some really, really interesting conversations, okay? So you can also take other phrases and do the same thing. I have come out with my phrases set of flashcards, which is not available yet, but stay tuned. Black Friday, maybe it'll become available. But these are just really simple phrases that are really commonly used in the Hmong language, okay? So like "gong khai gle" or "nya zhong," and just yeah, really common phrases. There are 26 cards in here. So if you guys were to memorize these, one card a week, that'll take you through half of a year, okay? So this is like 鸟中山族, and then on the back, it's in English. And I think this is a great way to learn the language because you're just learning really common phrases. So again, just take a phrase and learn it and memorize it. The more you use it, the more you engage with it, the more it will become ingrained in you, okay? And this is actually a tactic for learning new languages that a lot of people have been doing nowadays. And it's great because you're learning the most common phrases used in that particular language, and then you memorize those. And like if you learn like 50 to 100 of them, you can speak that language on a very basic level, and it is such a great starting point to propel you forward to learn that language even deeper, okay? So again, take a phrase and memorize it for each week, okay? All right, so learn Hmong and sing songs together. That is the third tactic to learn Hmong with your kids. Last week, I had asked people on Facebook Live, just, hey, if you guys can read and if you guys can write Hmong, let me know. Let me know who taught you guys and how you guys learned. And people were saying like, oh, I took classes, my parents taught me. But there were actually quite a few folks who said they learned through just singing and following along to music. And that's actually how I learned. In church, we would go through the hymnals every Sunday, and I actually kind of saw it as a game. I really enjoyed it where, I would just follow along and like, oh, all of a sudden you're able to read, and then all of a sudden you're able to read faster. And that's how I became a lot more confident in my writing and my reading skills in Hmong. And again, it's something that I really enjoyed. And this is a great tactic, okay? Singing and following along to music is such a great tactic because when you're singing, the tones don't matter that much, because I know that is a, stumbling block for a lot of people. A lot of people are intimidated because of all of the tones. And so, singing is a great alternative to just flat out learning. And I'll even give you guys an example, okay, of how I teach people how to sing. Okay, I always do this. Okay, what you do. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Okay, what you do when you are learning to sing in Hmong is you. Okay, can you guys see that over here? Oh, okay, all right. My husband is telling me I want to see your face, so. Okay, what you are doing to sing in Hmong is you are just taking off the last consonant, or the last consonant in each syllable, okay? So like gu lu ga, okay, means I love you. Pong yu is friend, and gu is one syllable, right? So you take off the consonant at the very end, which is the V. So it's gu. You do not say kuv or guv, okay? And then it's hlu, right? Because you take off the B, so it's hlu, not hlub. Ga instead of gaj. Pong, so you take off the J because pong yu has two syllables, right? So you take off the J, so it's pong yu. And it's obviously still like a little more complicated than that, but that is a very basic way to be able to sing Hmong, okay? And it's also going to help you to be able to start sounding out like, oh, P sounds like pong, right? And with the H, it's pong. And then the two O's means like with A and G or whatever. It's way easier to figure out if you just take off the consonants at the end of each syllable. Is that helpful at all? Anyways, that's how I teach people how to sing in Hmong. And right, so YouTube has a ton of Hmong songs on there. They'll even have subtitles, so that's, kind of one way you can learn how to sing. And also, I just want to let you guys know that I am coming out with a Hmong children's album this coming year, okay, 2018. I'm hoping to come out with a Hmong children's album where I will be writing original Hmong children's songs, put to modern music, okay? So it's all going to be original and it's going to be really simple because I want to just teach kids how to say like simple things, right? Because kids learn so quickly and easily through songs, and so do adults. So this is why I think that this is such a good tactic for you to learn with your kids. So a song that I made up for my daughter to clean, it goes like this, okay? Tu che gu bang, tu che gu tu che gu bang, tu che gu nya lu che hu hu. Okay? That's it. It's so easy, right? And really repetitive. And it's so cute because my daughter will just start cleaning. Like sometimes I don't even have to ask her. And then she just starts singing the song and I love it. It really is the cutest thing. And it's so simple, okay? So again, that's a great tactic. So just to conclude, you guys, I really think that learning Hmong along with your kids is one of the best ways to teach them the Hmong language. And it's also so beautiful because you guys are learning together, you're struggling together, you're teaching them what it means to persevere and what it looks like to progress. And they're learning skills that will help them for the rest of their lives, really. And also, they get to do something with you, where you're not just like teaching them, but you're peers. And that doesn't really happen often with our kids, right? So that's why I think this is so special. And yes, this is going to take time and it will be hard, but you guys are totally gonna, it's worth it. You're going to appreciate it, especially when they're older, okay? I want you to picture your kids, okay? They're maybe 2. Maybe they're 4, 5, maybe they're even 10, okay? But imagine them 10 years from now. You've been learning and practicing Hmong with them, okay? All along you've been practicing with them. And then, it's been hard, right? And you've been wanting to quit sometimes, but you've stuck with it. And then one day they stop you and they turn to you and they say, "Na, kusakako, okay? Ti kusakako hata ku okachawing, okay? Kusakako hata kujongsha ta kakagulumong, okay? Mom, Dad, thank you so much for teaching me Hmong. I know that you weren't an expert, you were learning with me, and I know that it was hard and there were times that you didn't want to do it, but you stuck with it. And because you stuck with it, I stuck with it, and now I can speak Hmong. And I'm so glad because that's also helped me with other things in my life. But most of all, I'm just glad that I know who I am, I know what it means to be Hmong, and I can speak with Grandma and Grandpa. I think that is so special, and I think that can be so possible, and I think that's beautiful. And I believe that if we do take the time to learn with our kids, and if we make it fun and interesting for them, they'll not only want to learn Hmong, but they really will be excited, especially if we do it with them. I do believe this, and because of that, you guys, that's even why I started Hmong Baby, okay? I don't think that the Hmong language has to simply die. I think that it's a beautiful language, and I want to be able to speak Hmong with my kids, and I want my kids to be able to speak it with my parents, and to connect with them, and to laugh with them, because that's my parents' heart language, and I know that they feel so loved when my kids speak to them in Hmong, when I speak to them in Hmong. So I want you guys to also be able to teach your kids, and that's why I'm doing this, okay?